So this is a correction because we did not install the tracks properly in the first step of the video. The way they're supposed to be properly installed is the screw is supposed to be in the first hole, and then it's supposed to be in the second one from the end. So again, all 6 tracks, 3 on each side, the screw is supposed to be in the first hole, and then it's gonna be the second hole from the end. So when you see the next step, which is going to be the first step of the assembly, just ignore it and use these holes for the installation. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to take panel number 5, which is panel number 5. We're going to set it down and install the black screws. They're going to go in the where the plastic inserts are. There's going to be 12 of them. So these all gonna be okay. And now we're gonna use the plastic peg, sorry, the wooden pegs for the other holes. And we're gonna do the same for all the other holes. Step would be to grab the drawers tracks. We're gonna pull them apart, flip them. There's gonna be a little plastic lever that you're gonna press, and then it's gonna get pulled out. There we go. Now we're gonna get the bigger portion of the tracks, and we're gonna install it on panel number 5. We're gonna use holes number 2, and the last one on this one. There we go. And the same is gonna be done for the other 2 tracks. Before we proceed to installing the side panels, we have to grab panel number 1, which is gonna be the thickest one. That's going to be the top panel. We're going to install the LED lights. We're going to grab the small screws and brackets to secure the LED lights. We're going to grab the LED strip, remove the tape. There's the pre-cut holes. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's the pre-cut holes for the brackets. There we go. Now we're going to grab the screws and the brackets. There we go. And we're going to do exactly the same thing for that one. So next step would be to grab panel number 2, 3, and 1. 1 is the one that we installed the LED lights onto. Going to grab the boards number 6, 1, and 17. So these are the boards. Make sure when you install them, this is going to be the bottom. The one that has the thick panel is going to be at the top. Just make sure that the finished side is facing towards the front, because the other side is not finished, as you can see. Same is going to go for all the other panels. Just make sure that the front is going to be all with the finished side facing towards us. So when that's done, we're going to grab a small round lock. We're gonna lock all the panels in. So just put them in and twist them. And as you can see, the screws are adjustable. So sometimes when the lock doesn't lock in properly, maybe just you didn't put the screw all the way in. So take the panel off, make sure it's all the way in. Again, not too far in because it might damage the panel. Now this is panel number 3. Again, make sure that the finished side is facing towards the front. If you mix it up, you'll have to dismantle the whole thing to reassemble it properly. Okay, so now we're gonna do the locks again. We've already done the locks on these guys, so these ones are all done. We're gonna have the locks facing towards us on the back panel. This is panel number 2. With the locks, or the holes for the locks facing out. Well, basically it's going to be facing towards the bottom. We're going to grab panels this is the back panels, which are number 18 and 19. Just going to slide them in. Just make sure somebody's helping you. This way it's going to go in. It's going to go in. There we go. So this one is in. We're gonna grab panel number 19, which is the next one. Again, just make sure there's a small gap. As you can see, that gap is supposed to be facing towards the thick panel, which is gonna be the top. This is where the LED is gonna go through, because we'll have to plug it into to an outlet. So once that's done, we're gonna go to the next step. So again, all the finished wood is gonna be facing towards the front. We've secured every single piece with the locks, and we had already installed the LED in the previous step. The first panel that we did was number 5. Now we're gonna go to the next step, which is installing panel number 4, which is gonna be exactly the same one. Again, we're gonna separate the tracks. We're gonna grab the bigger portion of the tracks, align it with the pre-cut holes. We're gonna put the screws in. Then we're gonna use the black screws for the ones that go into plastic, and then we're gonna use the wooden pegs for these holes. There we go. So once panel number 4 has been done, we install the tracks and the screws. We're gonna, sometimes that does happen, the wooden pegs would fall out. So what you need to do is actually to put them right where the holes are. Just make sure you don't mix up the holes. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna grab this one, align it with all the holes. Just make sure that somebody's helping you. And if you noticed, the surface is not well, at first sight it doesn't look glossy. The reason being is because they put protective film on every single panel. So once we're done with the assembly, we're going to remove the tape, and everything's going to be nice and smooth. There we go. So once that's done, we're gonna grab the same round locks, and we're gonna repeat everything we did for the bottom panel. So we're gonna lock in the screws that go into these holes. All the locks have been fixed. So again, we've fixed all the locks on the panel number 5 in the first step. Then we fixed all the locks on top on panel number 4. We're going to flip it on its face, but be really careful because it's all glossy. If you drop it, obviously it's gonna get damaged. So there you go. So that has been flipped. Have somebody help you maybe because it's pretty heavy. So when that's been done, we're going to install the leg. There's the pre-cut holes. There you go. Once that's done, we're going to secure the back panels. I'm going to grab some of these ones. Yeah, and just slide them in. Secure it with the screw. There we go, and we're going to do the same for the other ones. So just spread them out along all 4 sides and put the screws in. The way they're supposed to be laid out is 2 on top, 2 on the bottom, 1 on each side. Same for this one, 2 on top, 1 on each side, 2 on the bottom. One of the final steps would be to assemble the drawers. So we're going to grab panel number 7. Number 11, and then 9 and 10. You're gonna install the black screws. Make sure the slits are on the same level and they're aligned. I'm gonna put the locks in, the round ones, lock them in. There you go. I'm gonna do the same thing for this side. Slide the bottom of the drawer in. Make sure it goes in properly. Yeah, so this is panel number 8. We're gonna flip it and install the screw first. Once that's installed, we're gonna align it in the drawer. I'm gonna grab some of the round screws that they're gonna be used to secure it. The long thin ones. Same is gonna go for this side. So once that's done, one of the last steps would be to attach the second part of the track. So it's the thin portion. Make sure it goes all the way in, and also make sure you install it properly, because you have to make sure the stopper is towards the glossy panel, because it's gonna go in that way. Yeah, the black thing is gonna be towards to the back, and then the stopper is gonna be towards to the glossy panel. We're gonna flip it. Go cover the locks. Take the track. So once that's done, we're gonna do, the way we're gonna put it in is we're gonna make sure we slide this one towards the front. Now we align them with this and slowly just make sure it's aligned properly. Sometimes and then we're just going to slide this in. Panels number 13, 14, 11, and 15 and 16, and we're going to assemble the two bottom drawers, which are going to be identical in terms of assembly. Again, we're going to install the black screws. Then we're going to install the side panels. We just basically follow the previous step in the video when we were assembling the small drawer. It's going to have exactly the same steps how to assemble. To assemble the big drawer, the last step would be to attach the handle. Take a couple of the small screws, the handle, and there we go. Once you put the drawers in case you need to get them out, what you need to do is grab a screwdriver. We're going to reach in. It's going to be the plastic lever. We're going to push it or pull it up depending on the track. Same is gonna go for this side, and then we're just gently gonna take out the drawer like this. There we go. So once it's out, the tracks are adjustable, meaning that you see how this hole, it's very long, so you can actually control if it goes up and down. So again, if there's a gap, you can always take out the drawer, reattach the screw, adjust the track, and same is gonna go for this side. So once you do it, you can again adjust the track to make sure the drawer is in a proper level. Once that's done, we're gonna take the drawer and then just 1, 2, put this in. There we go. Everything assembled. We're going to connect the LED lights. As you can see, there is going to be 2 arrows. We have to make sure they're going to align. We're going to plug this in. Usually what we do is maybe like put a little bit of tape around it. This way they won't get disconnected. And there we go. Also, this is the receiver. So the way we usually do it is we install it like this. Basically, just make sure it sticks out a little bit. This way, when you point the remote, it has to point directly at the receiver, because otherwise the signal might be a little bit weak. So just when you install it, maybe leave it like that. This way, there's going to be a very good signal. And there we go. Everything is set up.